The Dallas Cowboys are living in a fantasy world, and their leader, Dak Prescott, is leading the charge of delusion. Watching Sunday's Super Bowl, it became painfully clear the Cowboys are not even in the same universe as the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles didn't just win, they destroyed the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, in a dominant 40-22 performance. And let's not forget their complete annihilation of the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship Game, crushing them 55-23. Yet, somehow, Prescott still believes the Cowboys are very close to the Eagles. Close in what way? Certainly not in playoff success, certainly not in Super Bowl appearances, and definitely not in Lombardi trophies. The Eagles have been to 3 Super Bowls in the past decade, winning 2. Meanwhile, the Cowboys? They haven't even sniffed an NFC Championship game since the Clinton administration. But Prescott isn't backing down from his delusions. Speaking at a charity event in Dallas, he had the audacity to claim, "I feel like we compete with the Eagles and beat them for the most part when we play them." What world is he living in? The Eagles swept the Cowboys this season for the first time in his career. And when it mattered most, the Eagles proved they are light years ahead. The Dallas Cowboys are stuck in mediocrity, and Prescott is part of the problem. The Cowboys fan base is one of the most passionate in the NFL, but they've been fed the same lie for nearly 3 decades. This is our year. Every season, the Cowboys find a way to overpromise and underdeliver. Every season, they fail to make it past the divisional round, and every season, Dak Prescott is at the center of that failure. Prescott has a 9-4 record against the Eagles, sure, but what does that mean when the Eagles are the ones consistently making deep playoff runs? His regular season wins don't translate into postseason success. And that's the problem with the Cowboys. They think beating their rivals in October means something in January. Reality check, it doesn't. The Eagles' dominance in the postseason is proof of what a real Super Bowl contender looks like. They're not just beating teams, they're obliterating them. The Cowboys, they're out here making excuses. Brian Schottenheimer, the right hire, or just another failed experiment? The Cowboys made waves 2 weeks ago by naming Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. And while Prescott appears to be on board with the hire, it's worth asking, is this really an upgrade? Let's not forget Schottenheimer's track record. He has bounced around the league, never staying in one place too long. His offenses have rarely been spectacular, and his biggest success came as a run-heavy coordinator for the Seahawks. The Cowboys need a major overhaul, and Schottenheimer doesn't exactly scream revolutionary. Prescott, of course, is putting on a brave face. He's kind of old-fashioned. I'm looking forward to the grind and some things that we're going to do and he's going to add. Old-fashioned? That's exactly what the Cowboys don't need. The modern NFL is about explosive, dynamic offenses. The Cowboys don't need a coach who wants to play football like it's 1995. They need innovation. They need aggression. They need someone who can actually get them past the divisional round for once. The Cowboys' run game is a disaster, and Prescott knows it. Let's be blunt. The Cowboys' run game last season was embarrassing, ranking near the bottom of the league in yards per carry at 4.0 and yards per game 100 is unacceptable for a team that wants to be a contender. Prescott admitted as much. We just got to get to running the ball, while being a little bit more consistent on that. And then from there, go back and look at the numbers. I've always enjoyed play action pass, so just being able to get back to that. But you gotta start with the run game. This is where things get interesting. Prescott is basically saying the offense is doomed unless the run game improves. That's not exactly a vote of confidence in his own passing ability. The best quarterbacks in the league, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, don't need an elite run game to succeed. They elevate their teams regardless of what's happening on the ground. Prescott? He needs everything to be perfect around him. And that's the biggest difference between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Why the Eagles are the class of the NFC and the Cowboys are just pretenders. The Philadelphia Eagles have built a juggernaut. They have an elite offensive line, a dominant pass rush, a dynamic quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and a front office that makes bold moves to stay ahead of the competition. The Cowboys, they're stuck in the past. They cling to nostalgia, hoping that America's team can somehow magically return to its 1990s glory days. But the NFL has changed, and the Cowboys haven't kept up. While the Eagles are making aggressive trades, drafting smartly, and developing their young talent, the Cowboys are still trying to convince themselves that Dak Prescott is an elite quarterback. It's time for a reality check in Dallas. If the Cowboys want to actually compete with the Eagles, they need to, 1, stop making excuses. The Eagles earned their Super Bowl success. The Cowboys need to stop acting like they're close when they've been stuck in neutral for nearly 30 years. 2, find a quarterback who can win in the playoffs. Prescott is good, but good isn't enough. If he doesn't take a massive leap next season, Dallas must start looking for a real franchise quarterback. 3, overhaul the coaching staff. Schottenheimer might not be the answer. If the offense doesn't take a huge step forward next season, the Cowboys need to clean house.